Hello there folks, I'm RJB from RJB and I just felt like casting a short replay, so I am making a second video today. Not what I was expecting, not what you were expecting, but perhaps this is going to be a pretty damn good game. So let's just find something. I'm just going to go dive into a random map and select the replay from there and see if that replay specifically is going to be amazing or not amazing. And one way to find out. Oh, look at this! I found a replay. Let's select the replay and let's start the game. It's going to be Burgersasu against Tentacion, the rapper. I think didn't Tentacion. I'm not sure about this, but didn't that guy Tentacion get shot and killed in 2022 or 2021? If he did, well, that's very sad. If he didn't, then I'm glad that I'm wrong. Please, if you do know, please tell me, because I saw the name and I was like, hey, wait a second, that looks very familiar, but familiar in a bad way. Because getting shot and killed is well, that's probably the worst thing that can happen to you. Probably the worst thing that can happen to you. So I hope that he's alive. I hope that he's alive. Just for some reason, the memory came into my mind that maybe it was him. That aside, let's leave the dark topics behind us for a little bit. We've got Tentacion here on the Yellow Terran. You're on the 9 o'clock spawn location against the player Burgersasu. This is a random replay, completely random. I've got no idea who the player is here on the middle left of the map. Burgersasu, a very familiar face here on the bottom right corner of the map. Going for a hatchery first, it's Zerg against Terran. We've got double barracks here in the choke. Went for barracks, supply depot barracks. So he's out for a bunker rush. This has to be an attempt at a bunker rush, otherwise you wouldn't go for this specific build order if you were not intending on bunker rushing. And his APM is shooting up quite nicely, so my hopes have gone up. Like, he started out like 100 APM. So I was like, maybe I selected the wrong one, but that APM shot up really nicely, so I have high hopes. Burgersasu going for the traditional non-choke Zerg build order of hatchery, pool, gas. You will have Zergling speed coming up probably with Zerglings, a couple of them, not too many, and then he's going to progress into a lair and get a Hylisk Den or a Spire probably. Those are really the options he's got on his mind and on his hands at the moment. Tentacion, they are scouting all the way into that base. He's not skipping out on proper scouting protocol. He doesn't want to miss out on the potential of, not finding him. He wants to just find him. So I've seen players of very high level do very shallow scouting patterns all the way up until here and not much deeper, and then miss their opponent when they scout every single spawn on the map except the one. Well, they did scout it, but they didn't go in far enough, and they missed their opponent. And in that case, the Zerg just sits in a corner, progresses really nicely and quickly, and loses out on nothing. No pressure, nothing at all, just pure surprise build order for the Terran or the Protoss that they're against. Just keeping his Marines are in the front. Going for a fast factory, quite surprising honestly. Cannon also on the way, so I wasn't expecting a fast factory after a double barracks. Definitely something I wasn't expecting. So the 6 Zerglings are out on the map. He's going to find the choke very, very soon. He's splitting up his Zerglings in every single direction at the same time to get scouting done as fast as he can. Checks how many Marines there are, sees double barracks. Cannot get any additional information though. Cannot find any additional information of what's behind those 2 barracks. SV there is going to try to get another run into Burgersasu's base. Burgersasu is going to try to prevent that. He wants to keep the information of what's happening here. He wants to keep that all, a secret. But he fails to keep it a secret. He gets scouted yet again. The Hylisk Den has been spotted. There's only a single creep. There's literally no defenses whatsoever. Burgersasu might be in for a rude surprise because we have some Marines coming across the map and there's only one sunken. He's building a couple more because he knows that something is up. He saw that when the SCV arrived here in the backside, that Tentacion might be out to go for an attack. And Burgersasu is now pulling Tentacion back to his base by pretending to go for a run-by into that base, past the barracks for the factories there in the back, or for the SCVs. So every single time Burgersasu tries to make a move into this base, Tentacion might feel forced to retreat. Let's try to get in. There's a medic blocking there in that small little pathway. 2 Marines are behind it. Cannot get in. So the Marines are free to advance onto Burgersasu's main. There's not much to attack here though. At least, not safely. There's Sunkens protecting everything. We got High Lurker aspect on the way. Some Hydralisks are morphing. Overlords are coming out as well. Burgersasu at the moment is well protected. Zergans of course keep dancing around those Marines who have Stim. Range is on the way. There's an engineering bay there as well for detection. There's a factory in the back. Tentacion is doing very odd stuff. I've not ever really seen this specific build order happen by anyone. Turret in the front. He's trying to fish for an opening, trying to kill something, but literally just cannot get onto anything. The Sunkens are protecting very, very well. So Hatchet number 4 on the way, getting Queen's Nest as well for a very fast hive. He's probably going to go for Lurker, Defiler, Swarm. That's what I am predicting, what I'm seeing in the stars when I'm looking at Burgersasu's base at the moment. That's just the first thing that comes to mind. Spire in the back though. He might just go for Guardians instead of Lurker, Swarm. Gets a good shot off almost Marines, forces them to retreat, gets a couple of good kills. The Lurkers are pushing further away towards the choke. He wants to get control over this section and make sure Tentacion does not get into that base anymore again. And if there's a chance, he might even try to push further and further into the middle of the map to try and kill the Marines, like that, get some good shots off, and then maybe break through that front door and get into Tentacion's base. Where we now have starports on the way and another factory. Went for double command center, fast armory. His army is really small, really small, exceptionally small, with only a couple Marines there. Almost no Marines are back at home. He's got a bunkers filled up. There's an engineering bay there floating in the sky. He's not really big. He's not very big, but neither is Burgersasu. But Burgersasu is on the point of becoming perhaps a little bit too big too quick, because this is what happens when the Terran is incapable of putting any significant amounts of pressure on the Zerg. The Zerg just drones up, gets more hatcheries, doesn't get too many Sunkens, like 5 is an acceptable amount. 4 gas already, that's a very good amount of gas coming into the bank. He's got a hive almost finished up, got an Evo chamber, now opening up some space to allow movement from the backside into the front side, because at the moment things are kind of blocked off. Here the Sunken there blocking off these hatcheries in the back, getting 2 more hatcheries in total. Greatest Spire will soon be on the way, but first getting Evo Chamber number 2. I don't see a Defiler mount yet. We have a lot more production coming up there for Tentacion now that his SCV count has grown bigger than before with the double command center opening after the double barracks. We have triple tanks on the middle, slowly pushing forward, forcing those lurkers back further away, because when there's a scan coming out on top of the lurkers and they're burrowed up, they will take a couple shots and lose a couple of those lurkers, which is not worth it. So he retreats back to his own choke. We have Carapace on the way for ground. No Greater Spire on the way, getting the Fire Mount first and then Consume. And Tentacion is slowly rolling forward. Tanks there in the choke. We have Science Facilities, Starport, Command Center number 3. Only 1 armory at the moment. More units are joining up in the middle. Burgersasu keeps running back and forth with the Zerglings to get information, to keep tabs on what he's doing. That's a pretty good amount of tanks. Pretty good amount of Marines. Now what is Tentacion up to next? What is Tentacion up to next? Stars, both players are advancing forward. Burgersasu finds a perfect moment with the vision of that Overlord, finds the perfect moment to get a very good, very exceptionally good burrow up right next to the Marines and the tanks, and kills everything with an amazing push forward. This Overlord specifically allowed for that to happen. All the vision of those tanks rolling forward and sieging up. Burgersasu seized the moment, moved forward. You rarely ever see this happen. This is a very rare, unique shot forward by a Zerg that might have just turned the game into Burgersasu's favor forever, definitively. It might just be over. Tentacion lost so much right there, and Burgersasu lost absolutely nothing. Burgersasu is free to advance from the middle, further forward, kill everything here with the Lurker Dark Swarm. Like, everything is just in game here. Tentacion didn't play bad, but things just went bad for him really quick. Snipes the defilers there though. So we do have a small little time window where Burgersasu has to get new defilers, but he's already set up there in the front. Which means that by now, Burgersasu might just win by spanning and sending units across the map nonstop. We do have this army there in the back slightly growing. Burgersasu is currently contained to this Lurker Swarm there, the choke. Zergus keep dancing back and forth slightly and slowly killing some units. Tentacion is in some big trouble. This is the definition of big trouble. More Lurkers coming in, mines exploding all Lurkers. Lurkers might have extended a little bit too far forward, but he gets right next to those tanks. Gonna try to kill them as best as he can. Gets pretty. Oh, he's gonna run right past those tanks. They exploded to a mine. Lurkers set up right next to the SCVs. SCVs are running away to safety, but the Lurkers are on the spot already killing the SCVs, and he kills a couple of them. Not all of them, but a couple of them. Not a lot of them, but a couple. But now you got Zerglings coming from Burgersasu's base, and they're just rolling him over. Tentacion is done for. There's no way to come back on this one. It is a done deal. Units are spawning there though. That tank is going to go down. There's one more tank there in the base. Got 2 vultures there as well. Zerglings are on the SCVs in the backside. And the front side is getting demolished by a single Lurker, but more are here right waiting in that choke point. There's a scan coming up in the front, and he clears out the base. He clears out the base, but more is on the way. Lurker the fighter there in the front. Gonna burrow up on the exact same spot as before. Lurker's under the Dark Swarm. Very difficult to kill. Actually, pretty much impossible to kill with what he has at the moment. He needs a vessel in the air. But he's struggling with his income because he had to pull SCVs away just earlier. So his income is recovering, but he's still behind on where he wants to be. And Burgersasu sees the opportunity to just go in over the northern side of Tentacion's base and run straight for the SCVs. I'm sure of it. There's a couple mines in between. Might just set up here and slowly push forward with the Hydras, killing the mines. Just slowly kill the mines. There he goes. Triggers the mines, kills it with the Lurker Spines, and tries again. Loses a couple of units there though. That's pretty good mine shots. Tries to get in deeper. Oh, gets the Lurker Swarm right next to the SCVs there, and he gets a beautiful shot off. Kills almost everything. Look at that. 16, 32. That was the money shot. The game is over. The game is over. Tentacion played it as he should have played it. But that one single moment, that one little opportunity that Burgersasu saw right here, it turned the game around and it just sealed the deal. There was no coming back from that one push forward by Burgersasu into the middle, where he killed all the tanks, all the marines, basically took away all of Tentacion's fighting power and forced him into the defense. Just want to show it just one more time. Right here, vision with the Overlord. He's going to roll forward. He's going to roll forward, and here he sieges up at the exact wrong moment. This truly is a disaster. This right here is a disaster. There's nothing he can do. He can no longer save the tanks. He can save the Marines, but the tanks, they're dead and gone. And he's actually going to try to fight back, which might have been a mistake, but you know, mistakes happen. That's part of StarCraft. You cannot always play perfect. You can play close to perfect, but sometimes one little mistake slips right in there, and the game can be completely over.